I'm going to announce the results of the test we had performed earlier. Tests? Yes, tests on the bloody dagger that was found stuck in the pine tree. Oh yeah, that. Sort of forgot about it. That's the weapon that IFA used when she fought with the victim. So what are the results? Was it the victim's blood or... Due to time constraints, the full test was impossible. However, there's one thing we can say with certainty. The blood that was on this dagger was not the victim's blood. That is all. Now then, let's restart this trial. So it wasn't Misty's blood on the dagger. Whose was it? So both the defense and the prosecution know this trial is rapidly coming to a close. Both sides need to show some full evidence with their claims. I understand, Your Honor. From what I've heard, the witness is dangerously weak, physically speaking. So let's finish this quickly. Agreed. Very well. Please bring in the last witness. Witness, please tell us your name and profession. Maya Fay. My profession is, I'm the assistant manager at Wright & Co. Law Offices. Maya, according to the magazine I have here, you're a spirit medium of the coin channeling technique. I'm frightened. The Fey clan, I don't want any more to do with it. Oh Maya, the pain the Fey bloodline causes must be unbearable. Very well. Now then, Miss Fey, when the event occurred, you were in the gardens of the Inner Temple, and you witnessed the moment of Miss Elise Yaxham's murder? Is this correct?
Objection!
Straighten up this instant, young lady. Huh? Pick your head up and speak clearly. There's always time for crying later. But Your mother was killed right in front of your eyes. There's nothing you can do to change that fact. But there's something you can do. You can finish this. You've been watching the whole thing, right? You've seen the witnesses come out and you've seen us squeeze the truth out of them. Now it's your turn. It's your testimony. On the night of the crime, what exactly did you see happen? Yes, if you please. Yes, Your Honor. I was passing through the garden on the way to a spare prep room when it happened. Suddenly, someone struck me over the head. I stumbled and ended up against a stone lantern. I think I screamed, "Help me!" Then something warm splashed over me. That's when I lost consciousness. So you were struck on the head. I suppose it must have been the staff. Maya, the person who hit you. It was Dahlia Hawthorne, wasn't it? I'm sorry, Nick. I couldn't see. I don't know who it was. Maya, think hard. Sorry, Nick, but I really couldn't. Can't say it was an especially good night for young ladies to be walking around alone. It seems it would be hard to determine the criminal through testimony alone. Very well then, Mr. Wright. Please begin your cross-examination. Maya, hang in there. She doesn't look well at all. I was passing through the garden on the way to a spare prep room when it happened. Suddenly, someone struck me over the head. I stumbled and ended up against the stone lantern. I think I screamed, "Help me."
Hold it!
You think you screamed, but you're not sure? Listen, I was a complete wreck. It was dark and I couldn't see my attacker. Was it a man, a woman, an adult, a child? I had no idea. I was scared out of my wits. Believe me, my dear, I'm certain I would have soiled my woes. I thought this person might attack me, so I... Anyway, I'm pretty sure I screamed. I thought that it was my last hope. Wow, it sounds like poor little Maya really was out of her mind. I wonder what she meant by last hope. What do I do? Do I press up for more details? Wait a minute, Maya. What's this my last hope stuff? What? What do you mean by your last hope? No. That's what you said. You said my last hope. Huh? What? I said what? Look, you were facing an attacker that you couldn't see, and you screamed, right? You screamed, "Help me." Yeah. But you testified that you screamed that because you thought it was your last hope. Oh, well, you know, that's like, what do you call it when that happens? It's not doing so well up there. Oh, yeah, oh, that's right. I remember now. I was facing my attacker, but that's not who I was screaming at. What did you just say? Yeah, that's right. It was the person behind my attacker that I was yelling at. That's who I was screaming to for help. Ah! What is it now? I messed up. I didn't mean to let that slip out. Huh? Witness, are you absolutely sure of what you're saying? Behind the attacker, there was another person? I am. Well, I, meant to keep that part a secret. What have I done? It takes a ton of pressure to make a diamond. That's what I always say. A ton of pressure? You're in a court of law here. You can't make things up or try to hide things in this chamber. Witness, the information you just presented is vital to the case. I want you to add it to your testimony. I can see a man behind my attacker by the light of the stone lantern.
Objection!
So there was a man standing behind your attacker. Yeah. That man. He's the killer. He stabbed her from behind. He's the one who killed Elise the Oxner, otherwise known as Misty Faye, your mother. The killer? Maya, you know who killed your mother, don't you? What is the meaning of this, Mr. Wright? To be frank, Your Honor, I think she is in shock and confused. That's why she hasn't noticed the huge problem of her testimony. Huh? What do you mean? What problem? Maya, on the night of the crime, that stone lantern was out of commission. Huh? What? It's true. There was no light anywhere in the garden that night! No! Order in the court! Mr. Godot, explain this! Add the pureness of milk to the perfect cold darkness of coffee. Star! That is the state of the witness's mind right now. Drop of cafe au lait. Cafe au lait? Is that even legal? Mr. Twight's words are the milk and you are the spoon. Your Honor! I'm the spoon? I'm no spoony bard. I'll have you know. You must have noticed it too, Trilogy. This witness's mental state is highly unstable right now. It's not hard to understand why she would make a little mistake like that.
Objection!
sorry, but that's not going to cut it. What did you say? If there truly was no light in the garden, then there's a fatal contradiction in the witness's last bit of testimony. Nick? May I? Recall the witness's statement about her attacker. She said that she didn't know if it was a man or a woman, an adult or a child. And yet, the witness could describe a person that was standing behind her attacker. And she quite clearly described him as a man. Ah! In other words, that would have meant to me that Maya actually saw our mystery person. Despite it being so dark, she couldn't see the face of her own attacker. No! Order! Wonder what does this all mean, Mr. Wright? Are you saying Miss Faye saw the real killer under pitch black conditions?
Objection!
Wright, do you have any idea what you're proposing? How could she have seen it all in the darkness? There's no other light source to see.
Objection!
There are some things that you can only see in the dark, Mr. Goodell. Maya, you did see who the killer was in the dark. And now, you're trying to cover for him. Cover? For the man that killed her mother? There's only one conclusion I can draw from this. You know who this man is. Please, Nick. I don't know anything. Please, I'm begging you. Talk a good game, try it. But let's see if you can walk the walk. It was pitch black, so what could the witness see? I'm calling your bluff. No, Nick, don't. Please, stop. Maya's dead set on protecting this guy. The man who murdered Maya's long-lost mother. But I can't let him get away with it. I'm a lawyer, an officer of the court. I'm here to find the truth. Alright, Mr. Wright. Time to show us what you've got. Who is the person that you say Miss Faye saw in the darkness?
Take that!
Because it was pitch black, Miss Faye was able to recognize the killer easily. I'm sure that the court would like to see for itself how this is possible, yes? What? But how do you propose to show us something like that? It's easy. We just need to recreate the conditions of that night. Conditions? Your Honor, the defense officially requests that all the lights in this courtroom be turned off. What? This is... But it can't be! That was a nice bit of deduction. That's right. Well, everyone, this is the man Maya saw on the night of the murder. Order! Prosecutor Cadeau, what is the meaning of this? Surely you must be shocked to hear yourself accused of such a thing. Why aren't you denying it? Your Honor, you're asking the wrong person. What do you mean by that? You got a question, ask the witness. That's one of my rules. Well, Maya, how about it? What you saw that night? Was it 3 glowing red lights? Well, witness, answer the question. You're wrong. I never saw that. Maya! I thought the person that stabbed my mother was a man. For a total different reason. What? Witness! Mr. Wright, what the... Stop your chattering, Your Honor. Chattering? If it's worth asking, ask the witness. That's one of my rules. Alright. Well then, let's continue with the testimony. Please tell us how you knew the killer was a man. Yes, Your Honor. I didn't realize it until after I woke up, but... When I came to, I was just lying down on the training hall floor. By the time I got back to the water, the place had totally changed. The torches were lit, and the body was gone. All the snow around the stone mansion had been carefully cleaned up, too. Supposedly all that smoke alone, I just assumed it was a man. So it was after the crime took place that the witness came to think the killer was a man. Yes, that's right. I'm sorry, Your Honor. No need to apologize. It's as Mr. Godot said, you're utterly exhausted. It's only natural that you would be a little confused. Also, if you consider the situation you described, it doesn't seem too much of a stretch to assume the culprit was a man. Mr. Wright, proceed with your cross-examination. Changed. Torches were lit and the body was gone.
Hold it!
The torches were lit? Yes, that's how I noticed that the whole scene had changed. I'd say it was the killer who lit the torches. I mean, who else could it be? Since it's impossible to uncover walk in the dark. However, that's true. Only one thing that still bothers me. The killer goes to the end of removing the body. It's true. That would be of any advance in color. Who would be anything from that would be the person that was in the temple, Maya. Very well. Let's hear some more about the condition of the crime scene. All the snow on the stone mansion had been carefully cleaned up too. So you're saying the killer cleaned up the snow? Did look really odd. Snow was moving in a natural-looking rectangular shape around the lantern. A lot of shovels around the inner temple. It's all really heavy, way too heavy for me to use. Odd fellow indeed, this kid. Odd luck when anyone wants to take snow away. Well, there's one thing I can think of. Didn't you say there was a lot of the victim's blood sprayed onto the snow? Yeah. Maybe I collapsed and ended up being splattered. In other words, the killer's purpose was to hide the bloody snow. I think that's the most reasonable explanation. However, there's still something that's bothering me. The killer just wanted to hide the snow with blood on it. You need to remove that amount. That's true. You could put the snow that was stained with blood. There are some mysteries behind this issue. But I think this will help explain them. The person with all that look alone, I just assumed it was a man. The killer certainly went through a lot of trouble. Moving the body by pendulum, manipulating the crime scene. What profits? I do all that. Oh, I just wanted something on. When I came to, I was just lying down on the training hall floor. By the time I got back to the garden, the place had really changed.
Hold it!
Naturally, the killer must have done it, right? Yes, I think so. Why would the killer trample the crime scene like that? There must have been something that the killer desperately wanted to hide. The truth is, when I saw the crime scene, I felt something. You did? Yes, I felt like the killer was hiding the evidence for me. For my sake. What? Hiding it for you? Everyone knew that I was the only one at the inner temple that night. Sister Bikini had come back and looked at the garden. She may have thought that you had done it. No, she definitely would have thought so. And you're saying that's why the killer cleaned up the crime scene to make it look like nothing had happened? Yes, I'm sure of it. Well, that's certainly an important piece of information. I want you to add that to your testimony. Yes, Your Honor. What had happened?
Objection!
The body of Elise Dioxin was carried all the way to Hezekiah Temple's courtyard. Then at the gate... Then at the garden, the real scene of the crime, the son that we suspected was covered in blood was scooped up and removed. It's reasonable to believe all this was done in an attempt to hide the true crime scene. However, there's still one matter that seems somewhat odd. Oh, and what would that be? You must have figured it out by now, Mr. Goodell. It's the message written in blood on the lantern. It was written very clearly on the white stone lantern. Maya. Oh boy. The killer was so motivated to protect Maya from suspicion that why didn't they wipe the writing off the lantern? Ah, you're right. Order. But Mr. White. Wipe off the most incriminating thing of all, the bloody whiting.
Objection!
If that's the case, do you have any explanation for the killer's mysterious behavior? Load the killer with the body and remove all the snow. Then leave the bloody white on the lantern. Back to the killers left the writing on the lantern. There's no reason for it. What's your opinion? Why did the killer leave the message written in blood on the lantern? Prosecutor Goodell, early in the story you gave me some good advice. But you eliminate the impossible? The whole raids must be the truth. Maybe you're not as dumb as I thought. The real killer wants this guy's affected a permanent accord there. If that's the case, they would have left the bloody writing on the snow lantern on purpose. Therefore, it must mean that they didn't notice it. But that doesn't make any sense. The torches were all lit and everything. There's no way any normal person would miss something as glaring as that. You're right. There's no way any normal person would. What? What are you trying to say, Mr. Wright? There's only one person involved in this incident. You could have missed seeing the bloody writing altogether. Who might that be? This person that could have first missed the bloody writing.
Take that!
Mr. Goodell. This is what you said yesterday. I still can't see everything. Is that correct, Mr. Goodell? This method was submitted as evidence today. I'd like to put the thing back to the moment it was first presented. This lantern, there's something written on it. Why, it's written in blood. Nonsense. This lantern, it's as clean as a whistle. No. Just admit it. There are certain colors you can't see, correct? You can't see red on white background, can you? That's right. We went through this once before. Not the poison case and trespass. The apron to the right from this boy was wearing at the time. Somehow spilled coffee on it. Something that's still bothering me, Mr. Goodell. I have not explained the blood stain to the court. Blood stain? What blood stain was that, babe? The game prosecutor. The blood-colored stain that smeared all over the apron. That's ridiculous. No one told me anything about a blood stain. You can see the coffee on the white apron. You can see the ketchup. Because it was wet. It's strange. In a black and white photo, those letters would have appeared black to me. I wonder, am I the only one that can't see them? So then, Mr. Goodell, are you admitting it? Are you admitting that you can't see the red writing on the lantern? Hey, Gramps, didn't you know? That's the reason why I don't drink red tea. Mr. Goodell, the fact that this son formally accuses you of the murder of Miss Alicia, also known as Miss Misty Day. Facts about you. Just make sure you don't fill out the red ink, Gramps.
Objection!
The color wasn't able to see the color red. This is red still go on, try. The answer's right there at the crime scene. In the snow. Snow? How so? Well, for example, you can remove all that snow. Lana, you say yourself. You want to hide the bloody snow. Why not just take out that area? Why didn't you take out just that area? Aha! Could it be? Yes, the killer couldn't see the red blood that had seeped into the snow. So he had to remove all the snow. He couldn't be sure where the blood had landed, so he removed the whole area.
Objection!
Dark? Not a chance. Just toilet would have been able to see just fine. Seems that once again this trial has taken an unexpected turn, to say the least. Explain this, Mr. Goodell. Hold it! Wait just a minute! Maya? What is it, witness? Mr. Goodell isn't the killer! After all, he didn't even come to Inner Temple until 2 days after the murder took place. He didn't show up until after that old bridge got fixed up.
Objection!
Maya. Can't testify to something like that. Why? What do you mean? I mean, I looked at... After the murder happened, you didn't even exist. He didn't? afraid I don't follow. Are you senile, old man? We established this just a little while ago. After the murder, this witness was unconscious for a long time. Because he was channeling Dahlia Hawthorne. Oh, that's right. But please, Your Honor, let me add to my testimony. Nick, please listen to me. Maya, it's a colorful Godot no matter what the cost? If that's the case, then I've got no choice. Your Honor, let's hear her testimony. If it means we're going to hear the whole truth, I say we should not silence her. Nicely done, Wright. Very well. Let's hear the witness's testimony. Please tell us what happened at the inner temple after the murder. Yes, sir. After I woke up, I began channeling and my spirit left me as it were. But little Polly was there at the inner temple too. Polly was also stuck in the inner temple side that night. That next morning, she looked around but couldn't find anyone. The next day, when the bridge was finally fixed, she was in the small prep room. That's when Mr. Godot arrived at the inner temple for the first time. He found Polly first and told her right out. Who is this Polly? That's my little cousin, Paul Fay. So when did you hear about this? Oh, just a while ago when I was in the medical office. I'm terribly sorry. What you heard from someone else is simply not admissible as testimony. What? Come on! Polly would never tell a lie. She's a way more honest person than I'll ever be. Well, smart, Maya. Always know the best things to say when you're under oath. The prosecution has no objection. We believe the witness. Mr. Godot? Let's just move on to the cross-examination. If the defense has no objections. This is highly unusual, but, well, Mr. Wright. Let's get this cross-examination started. Polly was stuck on the temple side that night. Next morning, she looked around but couldn't find anyone. Next day, when the bridge was finally fixed, she was in the small prep room. That's when Mr. Godot arrived at the inner temple for the first time. He found Polly first and told her right up.
Polly!
Did he show her up? So Polly said, she said he was a very nice older gentleman. Thanks for looking after my cousin, Mr. Godot. I was thinking you were nothing more than a coffee addict. Cut it out. You're making me blush. It begins to get on my nerves in more ways than one. The truth is, there aren't that many places to look on the inner temple side. The policemen are all busy going over the garden with fine-tooth combs. I decided to carry out an investigation my own way. Godot style. Same way, I like to hand out verdicts my own way. Judge style. Let's ask the questions. Phoenix style. You said that you conducted an investigation of your own. Did you find anything? It looks like my investigation went about as well as yours, Wright. After all, I did miss the bloody violin on the lantern. Well, I didn't miss it, so speak for yourself, goggles! The only thing I discovered was the beauty in the training hall. Beauty? Misty Faye, naturally. Clad in her stunning Japanese garb surrounded by the hue and aroma of Western tastes. Western tastes? Can you find a strange way to describe gravy? So from there you head for the pub. Pretty good, Joe. Just now, say? You gotta start hitting from the weak spot. One thing is very important here. Godot when the murder was taking place. He must have already been at the inner temple when it happened. Otherwise, he couldn't have killed at least the oxen. But he was also stuck at the inner temple side that night. The next morning, he looked around but couldn't find anyone. The next day, when the police started fixing his girl question, that's when Mr. Godot walked to the inner temple for the first time.
Objection!
Mr. Godot, the first time you crossed the sea bridge and went into the inner temple was long before the murder took place. Why do you say that? Because he just made one fatal slip up. Hanging scroll in the training room. Hanging scroll? But Mr. Godot was right. That scroll shows a picture of my mother. Maya, I know you know who it is, but there's something you didn't know. By the time the bridge had been repaired 2 days after the murder, the hanging scroll in the training room looked like this. What's that wonderfully delicious smell? Running out of the crime. We covered it with gravy. Gravy? Why gravy then? Because gravy was much more than a condiment to the culprit. Well, Mr. Godot, if you really hadn't seen the hanging scroll until after the murder, you wouldn't have had any way of knowing that it was Misty Faye. Hold it! Wait a minute, Nick. Yes? Taking a look at the hanging scroll. Look at the top. There's a quest there. That is the mark of the master, correct? Exactly. So if you know the meaning of the mark, you should guess there's a picture of Misty Faye on there. True, but Mr. Go described it was underneath like this, clad in a stunning Japanese garb, surrounded by the hue and aroma of Western tastes. Oh. Yes, it's possible that he knew what the quest meant. However, he could have known that she was wearing Japanese clothing. Mr. Godot, on the day of the murder, you were hiding at the inner temple long before the crime took place. Can I ask you this one little thing, Wright? What is it? This whole theory of yours, and all Western is an assumption that I knew beforehand that a crime was going to be committed. That's right. Otherwise, there's no reason for him to sneak onto the crime scene. What's Mr. Godot knew about the plan? Huh? What did you say? Is it possible that another person knew the plan?
Take that!
This crime was actually planned over a year ago. Logan Clay authorized the plan for a daughter's future. These instructions were in summer in Manor for a year. However, by the time Little Paws found these instructions, they had already been unsealed. Unsealed? Yes. Killer had read these instructions long before Paws ever found them. That's how he knew the crime was taking place at the inner temple. Still insist that the discrepancy killer is me? You bet I do. He just said that the instructions were hidden. That's right. Mr. Godot couldn't have known where the instructions were hidden. If you really wanted to know, you had one good chance to find out. Yes, and when was that? During a visit. Visit? Morgan played with her daughter about where the instructions were hidden. During one of her visits to the detention center. That would be the only time for someone to have learned where they were hidden. Eavesdropping on a visit at the detention center? Yes, it could be arranged if you were someone with easy access in and out of there. Like, for example, a prosecutor such as Mr. Godot. Order. Mr. Godot, you're under fire again. This murder could not have been carried out without prior knowledge. And you were the only one that could have acquired this information yet. At the same time, with last name bewitched by it. Maybe that's why he didn't sleep the darkness at his coffee. Sorry for always asking, but what does that mean? It means there's a reason for everything. Sometimes she has theory the killer in this case eavesdropped. Some conversation during the jail visit is more of a hidden plan for a crime. After discovering the plans, he hid in the temporary to a bar. He took a person's life. That's right. You're accusing me of this crime. I have to ask you, why would I do this? It's nothing but a stranger to me. I let's go to that control to attack her. See, I'm certainly not the type of person to abandon his grass. Killer's behavior is certainly extreme, for lack of a better word. Considering that the killer wanted to protect his witness's life, his behavior is still a little too unnatural.
Objection!
However, you had a good reason, didn't you, Mr. Goodell? I say good reason that wishes to protect this witness at all costs. Simple. My face and my phone is just a stranger to you. What's this? There's one person who lies at the very center of this whole story. One person that ties you and Maya fit together inextricably.
Take that!
There's a very good reason why Maya Faye's life is so precious to you. After all, she is Mia Faye's only sister. Mia Faye. You once worked alongside her. That was when you were a defense attorney. Wait a second here. Mr. Goodell is a defense attorney? If your honor's piercing intellect, you must have figured it out by now. Do you know the name of this man who calls himself Goodell? His real name is Diego Armando, isn't that right? Last time someone called me by that name was over 6 years ago. Diego Armando. That name rings a bell. It should, Your Honor. All this is related to a single case. A convict named Terry Falls killed himself. Mia Faye's first time in court, the tragic outcome left a deep wound in her heart. She knew that behind it all was a heartless, scheming demoness in disguise. And yet, Mia couldn't tear off that disguise. Oh, there was one man who reached out to help her. Diego Armando. See a defense attorney at the office where Mia worked. My fault. It's all my fault that Mr. Foss killed himself. Mia. You can't cry yet. The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over. I was moved by her. Yet she put all her faith in her clients. That pure, sweet heart of hers. That's why I could never forgive Dahlia Hawthorne. Me and I thoroughly investigated that fake kidnapping incident. One fateful day, Dahlia wanted to meet with me. It's been 6 months since the trial. We met in the courthouse cafeteria. I just remembered. 6 years ago, right here in this courthouse, you were poisoned. Even I didn't see it coming. Slipped some poison into my coffee. Newspapers at the time called it a murder. Information about the case was released to the press. But you weren't dead at all. No official report ever actually called it a murder. I was just in a deep coma. I see. My body shut down, and my life became nothing but a long, deep sleep. All these poisons were running up on my central nervous system. I lost my sight. My hair turned white due to the damage it caused. Terrible. Apparently, there was a miracle that I even regained consciousness. 5 years had passed since I drank that poison brew. Then one morning my eyes flew open and the smell of a doctor's cup of coffee. 5 years? You were asleep for 5 years? The worst possible news was waiting for me. Mia Fey was dead. From the very moment I opened my eyes, I had already lost everything I thought I had. The woman I loved had been murdered. The woman I loathed had been sentenced to death. The woman you loathed? The woman who had spiked me with hot coffee. Dahlia Hawthorne! Good old Mia. She didn't let me down. She got her revenge before she checked out. In the end, there wasn't anyone waiting for me when I woke up. That's so sad. For someone like me, for someone who had slept away their best days, there were only 2 reasons left to live. It was for those 2 reasons I decided to become a prosecutor. If I may ask, what were your 2 reasons to live? The first was you, Wright. Huh? Me? If I hadn't drank that stupid poison, if they never would have died, much less the way she did. You were the one who was there to protect her. Let her die. It was all your fault. It wasn't like that. I might see myself what kind of a man you really were. So that's why you became a prosecutor? The reason for living was by the name of Maya Fey. Huh? You mean me? Well, the only way I can make up for your sin of not saving Mia. But how did you contact especially. What about it, haven't you? About the strong ties between the main family and the government? That's it. He did say something to that effect. He said that the master coin had great authority. Even without a possessing mystic face, still wielded great influence. Police had been keeping an eye on her movements all this time, until I was able to contact her. Again, because of my position as a prosecutor, my mother was cooperating with you. Don't ever forget, no matter how far away from you she was, she never stopped thinking about you. She was always. That's why I knew she would do anything to protect you. Want to know how strong she felt as incestuous and her staff? Staff? One with the sword in it? The plan was to be carried out alive soon enough. But for the first time in Hezekiah Temple. Your mother showed me her special staff. And I realized it then just how far she was willing to go. She was ready to use that to protect you from Morgan Fay if necessary. Yes! If it meant paying the ultimate price. Mother. That night, the night of the crime, there was just one way to stop Morgan's evil plan. You mean pause, don't you? We had to make sure she didn't channel Dahlia Hawthorne. What are you going to do tonight? Right? I will read some books together. Prevent her from paying her part of Morgan's plan. But she never showed up. She was worried and followed me to the inner temple. They were most afraid of. That's why they had to do the channeling herself. She channeled Dahlia Hawthorne into her own body. What? What do you mean? She channeled the spirit first. The part would be able to do it herself. That's the blind and deepest power was supreme. That's how it went down. She channeled Dahlia Hawthorne so that Pathway wouldn't be able to. Ah! Is this true? That's why I hit myself at the Inner Temple. Using Dahlia Hawthorne. No. Anyway, that's all I'm going to admit to. Wright. Huh? There's no doubt about it. You're a great defense attorney. But you're going to have to do the rest yourself. The background leading up to this incident has been laid bare. There's just one question remaining, Mr. Wright. Who killed the victim? There are only two possible suspects right now. Maya Fey, and that's to say you, Mr. Goodell. Try. You did the real deal. Let's finish this thing once and for all. Show us beyond a shadow of a doubt that you can finish this on your own. No, Nick! Please don't! Maya! I heard the whole thing from my sister in the medical office. That's why I have to protect Mr. Goodell. I can't do it. I can't testify against him. After all, he's the man who put his life on the line to protect Mia and me too. I know that, Nick. But even so, doesn't absolve him of his crime. Please, Maya, testify. This is a final testimony. My father tried to hide anything, because I'll now. I want to hear the truth from your own lips. I understand. I'm sure you're right. I'm ready now, Nick. Alright, young lady. Tell us about the moments before you lost consciousness. What exactly happened at the time of the murder?